When you look at some of the top bench pressers in powerlifting, you notice the way people bench press can look very different. It's because everybody's built differently. We have different proportions, limb lengths, and muscle insertions. And because we're all built differently, what works best for one person won't necessarily work best for someone else. In this video, we'll go over a few changes you can try in your form to optimize the bench press movement for your body. The first component is grip width. How wide do you grab the bar? Most of the top bench pressers in the lighter weight categories, under 190 pounds, tend to use a wider grip bench press. However, in the heavier weight categories, it is less uncommon to see some of the top pressers use a more moderate or even close grip. One of the benefits of a wider grip is it allows you to have a shortened range of motion. However, not everyone does best with a wide grip, and some people actually get better leverage with a more moderate or close grip, where the wrist is more stacked on top of the elbow. Even some lighter weight pressers seem to do better with a more moderate grip. So even if you are a lighter weight class, a closer grip is something to consider trying. Another aspect to consider is shoulder health. People's shoulder joints are built differently. Some people report feeling their shoulders feel healthier, with less wear and tear with a closer grip, while others experience the opposite and opt with a wider grip. The second component is chest sink. How much do you let the bar sink into your chest? Most of the top bench pressers in the lighter weight categories use a light touch on the chest, where the bar is barely touching the chest. However, in heavier weight categories, it is common to see the lifters let the bar sink into the chest. There are a few lighter weight pressers at the elite level who let the bar sink into their chest. Brett Gibbs, for example, a lifter in the 83 kilogram weight class, seems to perform better with a bit of a chest sink. Some people find that letting the bar sink into their chest helps build momentum off the chest during the bottom of the lift. Lifters in the heavier weight classes have more body mass for the bar to sink into, potentially giving them more benefit. Using a light touch on the chest can help maintain control and keep tension in the muscles. I used to let the bar barely sink into the chest, maybe less than half an inch, and I would often have issues with nagging shoulder inflammation. Now I've switched my approach to just barely letting the bar touch my chest, with no sinking into the chest at all. And just this small change for me has improved my pressing power and shoulder health. But again, what works for me won't necessarily work for you. The third component is foot placement. Foot placement can affect how well you're able to use leg drive and create full body tension during the bench press. Foot placement varies between individuals and comes down to where you are able to get the best leverage for leg drive. Some people lift with their feet close to their hips, while others have their feet further away. Putting your feet too far back or too far forward make it difficult to maintain lower body tension and incorporate proper leg drive. To properly use leg drive, your feet need to be in a position where you're able to push down into the bench and away from the bench. When the feet are too far back, you're able to push down into the ground and achieve a lot of lower body tension, but it becomes harder to use the quads and effectively push away from the bench. When the feet are too far forward, you can get a lot of the quads involved in pushing away from the bench, but it becomes harder to create and maintain that full lower body tension. Where exactly the optimal foot position is dependent on the individual. Some people do better with the legs more tucked back, while others do better with the feet more forward. When making changes to your form, try to do it gradually. For example, if you're trying to widen your grip from a close grip, move your grip out gradually, half an inch every week. Even if a form change can potentially put you in a better position, it will still take some time and practice for your body to get used to the change. If you have changed your form, stick with that change for at least 2 months. This will give your body the time it needs to adjust. After those 2 months, if it feels stronger, stick with it. If it still feels off and your gains haven't improved much, leave it or try something else. Optimal grip width, chest sink, and foot placement are a few different aspects of the bench press which can be tweaked to best suit the individual lifter. And because everyone is different, we can't make a blanket statement for what is best for everyone. Try out slowly playing around with your bench press form. Don't just try to copy someone else's form thinking their style is the best way to approach a lift. You can give their style a try, but don't assume it will work for you. Just because some elite lifter uses a certain type of form for their bench press doesn't necessarily mean that way will work for you. Finding what works best for you will take some trial and error, but taking the time to find your optimal style on the bench press can greatly improve your potential max force production, and is definitely well worth the investment in time and energy.